相亲遇到抠门男的几率真的比你普通生活中要。
The probability of meeting a stingy man on a blind date is truly more than 10 times higher than the probability of meeting a stingy man in your normal daily life. One of my female members previously went on a blind date with a man somewhere else, and she set a time and a place with him, saying they would go eat Hay-de-Leo hot pot together. As soon as this guy heard that, he said, "Forget it, let's not eat Hay-de-Leo for now, how about we go walk around the snack street instead, it would be perfect for taking a stroll." After this female member heard that, she knew what he meant. Maybe Hay-de-Leo is too expensive. The two of them eating hot pot would cost at least over 300 yuan, but the snack street would not. One snack is only a dozen or 20 yuan. Then the female member said, "Then forget it, let's cancel this date." Then she came to me to complain. The woman said she had never seen a man like this. You want to go on a blind date, you want to go on a date with a woman, yet you are not even willing to pay for a meal. But that woman actually did not think the man had to pay for the whole meal, because after all, on a blind date the two people have not confirmed a relationship yet, and splitting the bill is also very normal. But in her eyes, the man's behavior like this was really a turn-off. True, and also the current situation is, the higher the net worth and the richer he is, the better his conditions are, the more realistic these men are, and the more unwilling they are to spend money. They hope to find a woman who is pretty, has strong work ability, and can also support her husband and raise children, and so on and so on. Anyway, their ideas are beautiful, but only after the woman has given a lot for him, are they willing to take the money out of their pockets. And I think this habit is especially bad. So why do men even come out to go on blind dates and look for someone? You might as well just guard your money and live with it.
嗨，家人们，我刚小美亲回来，我这里想吐槽一下。
Sisters, I just got back from a blind date. I really want to complain about this man. When I was at home, I told him, later we will go eat dinner together. Because at that time it was only a little after 5 p.m., and when he got off work, it would be about time to eat dinner together, and then he agreed. Then when we met as soon as we went out, I asked, "Where are we eating?" He said he already ate. I said, "Didn't we agree we would eat dinner together?" He said, "My mom cooked food for me at home." I said, "Doesn't your mom know you came out today for a blind date?" Then he said, "My mom knows, but I saw she already cooked, so I ate it." I said, "All right then," and at this moment I was already very speechless. And I did not know what to eat by myself, and I could not eat that much, so I said, "Then I will go buy a portion of roasted potatoes." Then we passed a small street-side shop. I said, "I will go inside here to buy a portion of roasted potatoes," and he agreed. Because that shop was very popular, and many people were lining up, and then he said, "Okay, you go buy it." I said, "Are you not going in with me?" He said, "No, I will wait for you outside." Then I said, "Then how about we switch to another one, because there are too many people lining up at this one." He said, "That is too much trouble." I felt that since it was the first time meeting, it would not be good if I asked for too much. So I continued lining up. I lined up for more than 20 minutes, then I paid myself. I bought a portion of potatoes myself, and along the way I ate while walking. At this point I was already very speechless, and really wanted to leave, but because it was introduced by family, it was not easy to. Then we went for a walk. Because that day was quite hot. I said, "How about we find a movie theater to watch a movie, or find a cooler place, or find a mall?" He said, "Let's just take a walk." And he also said, "You just ate something at night, you are not going to take a walk? Just sit down?" He said taking a walk is good for your health. I said, "Are you not hot?" He said it is okay. He said a calm mind brings natural coolness. I said your mind is way too calm. Anyway, at that time I could not calm down, but there was no way, I still walked with him for a while. While chatting, I also felt his emotional intelligence was extremely low, I was really speechless. Then he wanted to hold my hand, and I thought it was the first time meeting, although nowadays this is actually okay, but I also felt that because this person's emotional intelligence was really low and he was also quite stingy, so I was not very willing. He asked me why I would not let him hold my hand, and whether I was embarrassed. I said, "I am embarrassed, because my hands are too ugly." Then he said, "Let me see your hand," and then he directly pulled my hand up, and he looked at my hand like this. My hands are indeed really ugly. Then he looked at my hands, and he said, "Your face looks like you are in your 20s, but your hands do look like you are in your 30s. I was very speechless. I snapped back and said, "I am actually already almost in my 40s. I really could not take it anymore, and then I said, "Then let me see your hand." Then he showed me his hand. Then I said, "Your hands indeed look like you are in your 20s, but your face looks like you are in your 40s. Then it was a bit awkward, he did not speak. He said, "I was just joking." I said, it is fine, I was not joking with you." Then we continued walking, and I truly could not take it, I was afraid I would directly slap him twice. Then I said, "It is too hot, I cannot take it, I am going back." I said, "If we are going to walk next time, wait until it is cooler before coming out." Then he said okay. Because that place was still a bit far from my home, and I wanted to take a taxi back, so I told him, "I am taking a taxi back." Then he said, "All right, then you take a taxi home." Then he actually turned around and left directly, I had not even gotten a taxi yet. He left me alone there waiting for a taxi, and he did not even say he would help me get one. Thinking about this kind of stingy man, I find it funny. Not willing to spend even 1 cent for a woman, yet still wants to come out to go on blind dates. I am seriously speechless to the extreme.
男女遇到有这种小动作的男生，抓紧时间离开。
Sisters, as long as you meet a man with these little tricks, leave quickly. I had already agreed with a blind date partner during the day that we would eat together later, but when it got to dinner time at night, he directly specified a restaurant and told me to go there. After I arrived, he said I already ordered a group buy set meal. From beginning to end, he did not ask for any of my opinions. I looked at the set meal and I said, "There is nothing in this set that I especially want to eat, can I order one more item separately?" But he still insisted, "This set has a lot of dishes and is a good deal, wait until you finish eating and then we will talk." At that moment I felt really uncomfortable. Aren't you just stingy and unwilling to spend more money? So I did not eat much. After I got home, he sent me a message. He said, "Do you know you are being very disrespectful like this? I thought you ordered a whole table of dishes I do not like, and you still want me to finish it all. Are you feeding a pig?" From that point on, I really hated men who go out with me, men who eat with me and use group buy vouchers. Later I realized it was not a group buy voucher problem at all, it was a compliance test he arranged for you. They will deliberately ignore your preferences and completely disrespect you in small things, to see whether you will listen to him. Simply put, he wants to find a soft persimmon that is easy to control to be his partner, someone who will go along with him and accommodate him. If he does not control you, he will still stand on the moral high ground to accuse you. But it is exactly this kind of little trick that you cannot really find a big fault with, but that makes you extremely uncomfortable, and a man who is unwilling to spend money on a woman. Sisters, once you notice it, run quickly.
很多人都忽略了一个真相，就是祖师爷说的那句。
Many people ignore a truth, which is an old saying, money is not for spending on women, but for showing to women. For example, you have 10,000 yuan, you transfer 9,990 to that woman, and you only keep 10 yuan for yourself to chew steamed buns and eat instant noodles. You would not even buy yourself a piece of clothing. You would think you are a good man, but actually this is just you being moved by yourself. The other person will only think you are a love brain and very easy to fool. Spending money is to let her see your spending power, and over time, naturally there will be women who come to chase you. If you ask, what if she uses money to test you? A girl who truly wants to be with you will not use money to test you. A girl who tests you with money is definitely not sincere about being with you. She must be trying to get something from you. If you worry about what others think of you, then others will definitely enslave you. Remember, in our country, only the party and the people have the right to test you. So brothers, remember, you must spend money where it matters. Buy yourself some clothes, have a little drink when you have nothing to do, find a music teacher and a dance teacher to learn singing and dancing, find a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner to do some massage, relax, find a spiritual healer to soothe your soul. Spend money like this, isn't that great?
你把钱花在谁身上，谁就会很自信。
Whoever you spend money on, that person will be confident. Look at some women, each one is extremely confident. Why? Because someone spends money on her, and keeps spending money on her. So she feels she is awesome, very confident, because she can make different men spend money on her. How could she not be confident, so confident? So do not think that if you spend money on her, she will be grateful to you. She will only think she is awesome. Instead, you, the one providing money, will become very unconfident, afraid she will run away. So remember this sentence: whoever you spend money on, that person will be confident. Brothers, spend money on yourselves. When you spend money on yourselves, buy yourself designer clothes, a designer watch, a car, travel around to check in at different places, dress yourself up, improve yourself, you will be very confident. When you get to that point, you will find so many women will be attracted by your vibe, by your confidence. You will find that when you used money to constantly please that woman, how foolish it was. Do not think that if you give with all your heart, she will treat you the same. She will only think she has you under control. So now you only need to do one thing: spend money on yourself, and you will find that dating is actually that simple. Some women are really speechless. You treat her with all your heart, she ignores you, she thinks you are a failure, because what she sees is you being timid and submissive. But when you spend money on yourself and you stop paying attention to her, you become confident, then she will take you seriously. At that time you also do not need to care about him anymore, and you also will not care about her anymore. Because you will attract many, many other women, and you yourself will become confident too.
我觉得将来大方的男生一定会越来越少。
I think in the future, generous men will definitely become fewer and fewer. With the environment being so bad now, have you not noticed that the people around you really treat money more and more like money? And let me give the simplest example. Have you not noticed that during holidays, in your family, in the family group chat, the people who send red envelopes have disappeared? You even feel that in a situation like this, a man who can, in the early stage of dating, cover all the expenses for the two of you, like you two going out to play, eating, watching movies, all entertainment spending and so on, he pays it all by himself. If he does not buy you expensive things separately, and there are no gifts given to you separately, that already counts as a very generous man. I truly feel that the era when men were willing to spend money on women has passed. And there is one point I really want to ask many men: after how long in a relationship are you willing, truly willing, to buy a woman expensive things? Because I really want to understand what men in the blind date market think about money now.
Now, when dating and pursuing women, why are men generally unwilling to spend money and generally so stingy? Actually, the reason is very simple. 10 years ago, when you pursued a woman, if she did not like you in the first place, she would not agree to go on a date with you. She would refuse directly. You would not even have a chance to spend money. If you met through a blind date, and you met out of helplessness, if she did not like you, after the meal she would definitely split the bill with you, or she would just pay directly because she did not want to owe a man and let a man keep bothering her. So at that time, men pursuing women were actually very willing to spend money. Because once the other person was willing to accept the man treating, eating, giving gifts, it basically meant she was by default moving in the direction of being a couple with a man. For men, psychologically, that felt very secure. What you gave would more or less have a return. At that time, if a woman insisted on splitting the bill with me, I would instead feel unhappy, and I would think you did not like me. Then I had to treat, give flowers and gifts to show my sincerity and loyalty. But in today's environment, do men dare to do that? How many women dare to seriously say, I only eat with you because I have a good feeling about you. If I do not, I will split the bill with you. How many are there?